Hey everyone! Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm going to show you all the awesome features of MineFortress. If you've ever dreamed of managing your own kingdom, commanding villagers, and building a thriving empire in Minecraft, then you're in the right place. Let's jump right in. So, what is MineFortress? Well, it's a mod that turns Minecraft into a real-time strategy game. You can recruit villagers, assign them jobs, gather resources, and expand your territory. It's like Minecraft meets Age of Empires. The mod should also work in multiplayer, but I've never tested it myself. Now, let's dive right into the game. First things first, you'll need to create a new world and make sure you select the right game mode. Set the game mode to Fortress. This is super important. You can tweak the difficulty to easy, normal, or hard, depending on how challenging you want your experience to be. Just a heads up, if you choose anything other than peaceful, you'll need to defend your villagers from zombies, creepers, and other creatures. So keep that in mind. Also, you'll probably want to allow cheats. It can come in handy later, whether you need to find a good spot for your village or teleport out of a bug situation. After we create our world, you can choose between survival or creative mode. In creative mode, everything is unlocked from the start. But in survival mode, you'll need to unlock everything, upgrade your buildings, and progress step by step. In both modes, you still need to gather resources to build your structures. For this video, I'm going with survival mode. After that, we need to find a good location to place our town center. This is the heart of our fortress. If you press space, you can zoom out. Press shift, and you'll zoom in. And if you press the mouse wheel in, you can rotate your camera. Now, I'm looking for a solid spot to place the town center. For beginners, I'd recommend a flat area with some trees nearby. But honestly, it's totally up to you. I once built my village on top of a mountain. And let me tell you, it was brutal. Well, after a few minutes of scouting and some serious decision-making, I think I found the perfect spot. We've got water, trees, and even a mountain nearby. Let's place the town center and get started. Once you place it down, a few pawns will spawn. Don't worry, more will show up over time. Well, this dudes love campfires. You will see them die because of the campfire very often. Now, let me explain the user interface so you know what's going on. On the left side, you've got Jump to Campfire. This snaps your camera back to the town center. Skip Night. Just like sleeping in Minecraft, this skips the night. Hide Task, Outline. This hides the outlines when you assign tasks to your villagers. Help button. This brings up a book with basic controls for the mod. At the top, you've got Combat Mode. Here, you can see how many warriors you have and command them. Build Mode. This is where you'll place buildings, manage villagers, and more. We'll dive deeper into this in a second. Zone Selection. This lets you set up areas for mining, tree harvesting, and farming. I'm going to start by setting up a tree harvesting zone so my villagers can chop down trees and replant them. Next, I'll mark a mining zone on our little mountain. And finally, I'll set up a farming area. Perfect. Now, let's talk about build mode. At the bottom, you'll see a few important menus. Pawn Management. This shows how many villagers you have and lets you limit their numbers. Manage professions. Here, you can assign jobs to your villagers. Don't worry, you'll see more of this later in the video. Then we have inventory. Here you can check all your resources divided into different categories. Building blocks, colored blocks, natural blocks, functional blocks, combat, and of course, food. Next, we have crafting. This button won't do anything just yet, because we don't have a villager with the craftsman profession. Don't worry, we'll fix that soon. And finally, the furnace. Same deal here. We need a villager with the right profession to use it. The first thing we need to do is place down a crafting table and assign a villager to the craftsman profession. To do this, select a villager, click on blueprints on the right, and place the crafting table somewhere. Here's a tip. Don't place it too close to the campfire. Villagers aren't exactly the brightest, and as you've seen earlier, they might just walk straight into the fire. Yeah, it's weird. Moving on. Once the crafting table is placed, click on it and select Workforce. Here, you can assign up to 10 villagers to this profession. Honestly, I don't see much difference between assigning 1 or 10, but feel free to experiment. Now that we've unlocked crafting, you can craft items just like in the main game. The only difference? Your inventory has no limit, and you can stack items beyond 64. Pretty handy, right? Just a quick heads up. During the recording process, I ran into a little hiccup, so I had to re-record a section of this video. Because of that, the footage you're about to see is actually from a later part of the video. Don't worry though, everything will still make sense. I'm going to select a villager again and explain the interface a bit more. On the bottom left, you can see the villager's name, health, hunger, and their current task. Super handy to keep an eye on how they're doing. Over on the top right, there's selection mode. You can switch between square and other modes, but honestly, I always stick with square mode. I'm not entirely sure what the other modes do. Maybe I'm missing out, or maybe I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. Who knows? Either way, square mode works just fine for me. Below that, you've got blueprints. This is where you can choose between workshops, living houses, and decorations. Then there's the Chop Trees button. Click on a tree and your villager will go chop it down. Let's try it out. Nice. And finally, there's the Build Roads button, which lets you connect your buildings with roads. We don't need that right now, though. Oh, and look, it's nighttime already. Let me show you the skip night function. It works just like sleeping in a bed in Minecraft. Except you kind of just float in the air like an angel. It's a little weird, but hey, it gets the job done. Now, let's start building. First, I'll select a villager and open up the Blueprints menu. We're going to start with a lumberjack house. At the bottom, you can see the materials we need: wood and cobblestone stairs. We're a bit short on wood, so I'll assign a few villagers to chop down some trees. Then I'll send a couple of others to collect some stone. Perfect. You see, everyone is working. The woodcutter dude's over there. Very good job, my fellow villagers. And the miners over there, also doing their best. Jeeves Stobbs. I see what you did there, mod developer. Once we've got the materials, I'll head to the crafting menu and craft the blocks we need. Now, I'll select a villager, go back to blueprints, and place the lumberjack house. You can rotate the building by pressing Ctrl plus E or Q. Now we can look at him building the house. He is doing his very best to not disappoint us. In contrast to me, when I'm at work, I do my very best to disappoint. Once the house is built, I'll assign a few villagers to become lumberjacks. They'll collect wood for us and even replant trees. But wait, before they can start, we need to craft some axes. Some professions require specific tools, so let's get that done. All right, now they're ready to work. Select the lumberjack house, click on Workforce, and then on the plus button. We will do this 10 times to assign 10 villagers to this job. Now you can see that they have another skin. These are the lumberjacks. Let me explain the building interface using the lumberjack house as an example. At the top, you can see the building's health. Below that, there's the capacity. This shows how many villagers can work here. There's also a repair button. Super useful if a creeper decides to blow up your house. And of course, there's the destroy button if you ever need to get rid of a building. You can also see the upgrades available for this building. For example, the lumberjack house can be upgraded to a stone lumberjack house, level 2, and then to a lumberjack guild house, level 3. The requirements for each upgrade are listed, so you know what to aim for. Under the Workforce button, you can see how many villagers are assigned to this job and if they have any special skills. Next up, we're going to build a wooden miner's house. We'll need a few more resources, but thanks to our lumberjacks, we've got plenty of wood. Oh, and it's night again. Let me skip that real quick. Perfect. Now I'll assign a few villagers to help build the miner's house faster. Once it's done, I'll craft some pickaxes and shovels because miners require both tools to do their job. Then I'll assign 10 villagers to become miners and let them get to work. Okay, so this isn't exactly a mountain, but hey, they're a little confused. They've got the spirit. They'll figure it out. It's finally time to build a farm. But before we can do that, we need a forester's house. You can actually see that requirement in the SAR Professions menu. So let's check what we need to craft it. Oh, nice. Looks like we just need a few trapdoors. That's easy. I'll go ahead and craft those real quick, then we'll pick a villager and place down the forester's house. Foresters are useful because they'll gather seeds, saplings, and other resources for us. Oh, hey, one of them even picked up a flower. Hope that makes him happy. And, that he doesn't decide to walk into the campfire later. Now, we've got lumberjacks, miners, and foresters all up and running. Now, let's build a farm. But first, I need to craft a composter because, as I recall, that's a requirement for the farm building. Done. By the way, can I just say how much it annoys me that I have to right-click to place buildings instead of left-clicking? I've played way too much Age of Empires 2 in my life, and I keep pressing the wrong button. It's driving me nuts. Anyway, let's move on. Now that we've got the farm built, I'll assign a few villagers to become farmers. You can see them start to build farmland on the area we marked earlier in the video. Look at them go. Everyone's working now, and it's starting to feel like a proper village. This is basically the basics of the mod. With this knowledge, you can start your own village, and it shouldn't be doomed to fail. But we're not stopping here. I'm going to show you some of the more advanced stuff and other buildings you can create. Next up, we're building a blacksmith house. This building is super important because it unlocks furnaces, which let you cook food, smelt iron, and do all the other stuff you'd normally do with a furnace in vanilla Minecraft. I'll quickly craft the required blocks, and then we'll find a nice spot for this building. Perfect. Let's skip the night and assign a blacksmith. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure why you'd assign more than one villager to this profession. But hey, maybe there's a reason I haven't figured out yet. For now, one blacksmith should do the trick. Next up, we're going to build a fisher's cottage to make sure we always have enough food. It's always a good idea to have more than one food source, just in case something gets destroyed. Now, since we're playing in peaceful mode, it's pretty unlikely that'll happen, but this is still a great tip if you're playing on higher difficulties. Oh, looks like the water is confusing them. We'll just ignore that issue for now and keep building. I'm sure they'll figure it out eventually. Next, we will build a small warrior's house. Oh, wait, I already built it. Oops. I forgot to hit record because, well, I'm a little scatterbrained sometimes. But hey, here's the house anyway. Now, after I crafted some stone swords, I will recruit some warriors. After that, we're going to try building a shooting range. Now, for this building, we're going to need a lot more wood for hay bales. So, I'm going to do that classic thing everyone does in city builder games. I'm just going to let the game run in the background for a while and let the resources pile up. Alright, now we should have more than enough weed. I was AFK for about 10 minutes, so we're good to go. Yep, that's plenty. Let's craft the rest of the blocks and find a nice spot for the shooting range. Next to the warrior's house seems like a perfect location. Damn it, I can't fit it in perfectly. Oh, wait, here's a problem I didn't think about. We need a bow. And in peaceful mode, it's almost impossible to get strings. So I'm going to switch the difficulty now. This way, we can get the materials we need, and I can also show off the combat mechanics later. I will add a few more warriors to our village, just in case. In the meantime, while we wait till it's night, I'll see if I can upgrade a few houses. Let's upgrade the miner's house to level 2. I'll just craft the blocks real quick. Now, placing the upgraded building is a little tricky. It needs to be connected to the level 1 building, and you basically have to overlap it with the level 1 building if you want it in the exact same spot. Huh. Looks like a few villagers fell asleep during the construction. Okay. That's weird. What's going on here? Well, that was strange. But all right. We've successfully upgraded the miner's house to level 2. Now we've unlocked new features in this building. We'll need iron for pickaxes and shovels, so it looks like we'll have to do a little more AFK grinding soon. But first, let's check out the combat mode. I will set the difficulty to easy and select my warrior's units. Time to slay some monsters. Okay, let me get all of my warriors to one spot. Oh, shit. No, I clicked on one of my warriors with another warrior. Well, rest in peace. Patrick died this night. Like a true hero. No one has to know the truth. Now we wait for some monsters to spawn. All right, let's get this party started. Warriors assemble. We've got monsters to slay, resources to gather, and a village to protect. Time to show these creatures who's boss. Holy shit, our villagers in the background are also going to slay some monsters. Damn, that poor zombie. All right, the villagers aren't actually that bad at defending themselves. I'm curious if all the villagers will make it. But the way it looks, we've got so many of them that they could probably survive even without guards. We'll see. What the heck's happening over there? Those dudes by the fishing hut are having fun or what? Well, absolute skill right here, from both our villagers and that pillager. Competence has a name, but it sure ain't either of them. Holy crap, what's going on up here? You look away for 1 second and the villagers are absolutely wrecking all the monsters. About time our guards do something useful. And we finally got spiders. Bow chances just went way up. All right, now we're taking out the skeletons too. Because why the hell not? No monsters setting foot in this camp. Beautiful. We showed them. Now I'm kinda curious what our villagers are up to. What are you doing, guys? What? How far away are you guys going? They're killing more monsters than our actual guards. These guys are the real elite squad here. Damn. Look at this. The guards won't even make it in time. Villagers will have wiped out every monster by then. All right, looks like our villagers are done beating the crap out of monsters and are finally heading back to base. I'm gonna quickly wipe out these skeletons, then I'm sending our guards back to base too. What is going on again? Where is this dude running? All right. I'm pretty sure the villagers have everything under control there. Let them have some fun slaughtering monsters. We'll keep focusing on gathering resources for our archers. Man, spiders are spawning so rarely. I'm starting to doubt we'll ever get an archer at this rate. Oh, would you look at that? Our villagers actually found their way back to base. So far, somehow everyone's still alive, which is honestly impressive. Oh, that guy over there could probably use some help from our guards. Okay guys, relax. You don't all need to follow that zombie into the hole like a group field trip. Oh yeah, you all did such a great job here. Truly outstanding work. Spotted some spiders. Let's wipe out this zombie and the spiders, then see if we've got enough for a bow. Seriously, dude. You survived the whole night just to walk into fire now? What the hell? All right, let's check this out. Just gotta find the right category real quick. Holy shit, we have 4 damn strings. Getting archers in this game is hard. Oh, for fuck's sake. I totally forgot we need arrows too. Well, guess we're never getting archers. Just like we'll never see that damn Fisher hut. Anyway, next plan. Upgrade the miners. But oh wait. That needs iron, meaning it's time for more AFK grinding. Classic city builder.
Pick and raise your voice. Sing, sing, sing with me. Down and down into the deep. Who knows what we'll find beneath? Diamonds, rubies, gold and more, hidden in the mountain store. Born underground, suckled from a teeth of stone, raised in the dark, the safety of a mountain home. Skin made of iron, steel in our bones. To dig and dig makes us free. Come on, brother, sing with me. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole. The sunlight will not reach too slow. Deep, deep in the eye. Never seen a blue moon glow. And down some meat, stop your bellies at the feast. Stumble home and fall asleep, dreaming in our mountain deep. Born underground, grown inside a rocky womb. The earth is our cradle, the mountain shall become our tomb. Face us on the battlefield, you will meet your doom. We do not fear what lies beneath, we can never dig too deep. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am suckled from a teat of stone, raised in the dark, the safety of a mountain home, skin made of iron, steel in our bones. To dig and dig makes us free. Come on, brother, sing with me. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole. Brothers of the mine rejoice. Sing, sing, sing with me. Raise your pick and raise your voice. Sing, sing, sing with me. Down and down into the deep. Who knows what we'll find beneath? Diamonds, rubies, gold and more, hidden in the mountain store. Born underground, suckled from a teat of stone, raised in the dark, the safety of our mountain home. Skin made of iron, steel in our bones. To dig and dig makes us free. Come on, brother, sing with me. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. Digging a hole. The sunlight will not reach this low. Dig, dig in the mine, never seen the blue moon glow. First one flies so high, feel a glass and dance on me. Stop your bellies at the feast, stumble home and fall asleep, dreaming in a mountain deep. Born underground, grown inside a rocky home. The earth is a cradle, the mountain shall become our tomb. Face us on the battlefield, you will meet your doom. We do not fear what lies beneath, we can never dig too deep. I am a
feel like we need a song to sing whilst digging. Do you have any ideas? It needs to be something funny and sort of light-hearted, isn't it?
I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I'm digging a hole. I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I'm digging a hole. Dwarf hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dwarf hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I'm digging a hole. I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I'm digging a hole. Dwarf hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dwarf hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. Dig, diggy hole. I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I'm digging a hole. I'm a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. Diggy, diggy hole. I'm digging a hole. I'm a dwarf. I'm a diggy, diggy hole. I'm a dwarf. I'm a diggy, diggy hole.
Oh my goodness me. This is so ridiculous. Oh my god. Dicky, dicky hole.
Got my helmet on my head. Figure out what that zombie said. Lava all over the room. Got a half heart left, man, I am doomed. Don't have any iron bars. My pick just broke into some shards. Scary noise, what should I do? Go left or right, I'll have to choose. Visions of last time flash inside my mind. I'm scared. Oh well. And I'm pretty sure there's a big creeper right there. Don't mind at night. I know you're looking at that cave and you're feeling kind of brave. Go to bed, you'll be alright. Don't mind at night. There's nothing that is gonna change if you just wait until the day. Zombies wanna eat your brain. Don't mind at night. I know it's me you're gonna thank. Make a bed, it's not too late. 3 wool and 3 wooden planks. Don't mind at night. How many times I have to say, drop the pick and walk away. Hey, whoa, don't mind at night. Don't mind at night. Don't mind at night. Stomach's all tied up in knots. This labyrinth, I'm getting lost. This is really getting old. Found like 2 pieces of coal. Down one way, there's just stone. Monsters won't leave me alone. Down another, there's some lava, and of course I get pwned. Remember last time I tried to mine at night? I failed so bad. I lost all my stuff, it was really tough. That's it. Rage quit. Don't mind at night. I know you're looking at that cave and you're feeling kind of brave. Go to bed, you'll be alright. Don't mind at night. There's nothing that is gonna change if you just wait until the day. Zombies wanna eat your brain. Don't mind at night. I know it's me you're gonna thank. Make a bed, it's not too late. 3 wool and 3 wooden planks. Don't mind at night. How many times I have to say, drop the pick and walk away. Hey, whoa, don't mind at night. Don't mind at
Okay, after 3.5 hours of semi-AFK grinding, because apparently I needed a nap every 10 minutes to skip the night, let's see what we've actually accomplished. 7 raw iron. Well, that's something, I guess? At least it's enough. Though after 3.5 hours, I kinda hoped for more. Next up, you'll see the blacksmith was bugged. Even though I had one placed and one villager doing the job, I couldn't interact with the furnace icon. The only fix was to demolish and rebuild the blacksmith. Well, at least now you get to see the demolish feature in action. Just click the TNT, hit destroy, and poof, it's gone. Now we'll quickly build a new blacksmith and assign someone the job. Finally, we can actually use the furnace and smelt some iron. Took long enough. While the iron's smelting, I'll just whip up some bread. We've got plenty of wheat anyway. Now that we finally have enough iron, we can craft iron pickaxes and shovels. Click on the hut, then hit Workforce, and just tap the plus next to Miner 2. Boom. We have new miner with upgraded gear. All right, let's see if we can spot our new miner. And if he's actually faster. There he is. And he actually looks a bit different from the others. Okay, for some reason my game is lagging like crazy right now, but I'd say he is faster. Even if it's hard to tell. Okay, next up, I want to upgrade the farm to a big farm. Man, it's so hard to hit the right spot. Oh, damn the water. And oh, damn. We can try building a new fishing hut. This time we're building that damn fisher's hut. And I'm gonna be super careful about the placement. No repeat of that stupid river water mistake. Finally, there it is. Now let's assign some fishermen. Let's go. So, if we look here, we've got a fisherman assigned to fish. No clue why he's just chilling in the meadow instead of, near water. I will simply ignore this, and now we will build a normal house just for fun. Well, my recording crashed. But hey, at least you can see the finished house here. And Jonathan seems to be having a lovely day inside. Now, let me show you the final feature. After this, I should have covered everything in this video. The last feature is the blueprint system. You can actually design your own buildings. Resources will be deducted, of course. Now, you'll be teleported into an empty world. You'll need to build your structure within the red wool boundaries. Consider this your construction zone. Once you're done with your building, just hit Save Blueprint. Pretty self-explanatory, just like every other button in this menu. Now you can select a villager. And you'll spot your building in the construction menu. There it is. And down in the bottom left, you can even see exactly how many resources you'll need. Let's build this real quick, and that'll wrap up the video. Hope this guide helped. It was a ton of work, no lie. If you enjoyed, drop a like, comment, and subscribe for more gaming/Minecraft mod content. Catch you in the next one. Peace.